Zoe here, joined by Rose and Jack, and we're about to set the stage for our last match of the day. It is going to be Team Liquid taking on Extinction. Now, Team Liquid, did you get a speed? They were speed running it last week, so not too much to take away from their match. Extinction, they played the Ducks in their opening match in week 1, and there were a lot of bright spots there. Obviously, it's a messy game if you're going up against the Ducks, right? I think Doomfist, Moira kind of compositions. But the adaptations from Extinctions, they were good.
Yeah, I think the lower third kind of says it all there as well. King, Vision, 68 and 14 and 74 and 18 and Limbs to Death. Like, they look really, really good in this series. You obviously, with Ducks as a squad, they'll get a win. They will eventually. It didn't unfortunately end up happening against Extinction, but unfortunately, I feel like this is going to be another game that we just saw with Sakura and GK. It's a tough match. It really is, man. Just get these out of the way. Focus on the weeks to come, because Team Liquid, although they did end up losing that map to Nightmare, they look really clean as soon as they got off of control. They full held watch point. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it did look very good for them.
To win.
I think you have to take a look at those little wins, right? And that's the thing that's really going to help give you some momentum heading into those future weeks where you can start to play against opponents that may be a bit more evenly matched. But it also wouldn't really surprise me all that much, maybe if we did see Extinction have some close fights or close maps here and there. Especially when you look at this roster, you've got a King that I know has been really good to hold this team together, but you also have Alba that's coming in and has been improving a lot as a support player over the last couple of stages of OWCS and as a new player to competitive. And then of course Hitori, who's just has such a wide and deep roster pool. I feel like that's something else that's going to be really great to see if like Hitori can pull out something, or the team as a whole can show us a bit more of that synergy as they move into those future weeks.
Yeah, no, 100%. Hitori stood out last week because she was able to make those adaptations for the team, going from ball to hazard and whatnot. So, like, they can make swaps in their composition. Now, they are going up against Team Liquid. They've been lights out last week. I mean, Nightmare was just kind of, silently rolling over. Like, there was not much. Yep, I guess.
They're just the
except
Ilios
for
team.
Ilios. But other than that... And you expect them to be good here, right? Like, Infected being able to play balls, Arrow and the Tracer, Trion Genji, like, all is well.
Yeah, it's really comfort, I think, for the entire team. I mean, Zera, obviously, everybody was kind of singing his praises, and rightfully so, when he was dominating in Hangzhou in Stage 1. I mean, the guy was carrying in that match against... Crazy Raccoon, that match that NA finally took a series off of a Korean team. Like, he was dominating, and him being on Team Liquid now with a lot more support behind him, you're expecting even bigger things out of him. And Tree is no slouch. Like, yeah, this squad is just packed head to foot. I think GK is still probably rank 1 in a lot of people's minds, but Team Liquid, number 2 for sure.
I wonder, though, if actually Team Liquid would be able to win this stage. I've had them pegged as the stage winner since the very beginning, and I think a lot of it right now is just the current meta. You got the Wrecking Ball, Tree, and Zera can both play the double flex, and I think that in itself is going to be very powerful as we move into these future weeks, but especially for the... Tree can play basically anything. We even saw a little bit of flex over to the Pharah. It didn't quite work out the way that maybe they wanted it to, but the fact that he even has that as a pocket pick to bring out, you expect that Team Liquid will be able to make adjustments on the fly to be able to deal with some of these crazier hero picks that we've seen some of these teams come out with in North America.
Yeah, I do like that our top 3 and 4 teams all feel fairly confident and at home in what we perceive as the meta, so more dive heavy. I think it's nice to see that versus Stage 2 was all about if you can't play Symmetra, then you're gonna have a rough time. You just kind of lose. So we don't really run in that same scenario, so it once again feels like more even playing field being amongst those top teams, because I feel like NA overall is just like a very top heavy region, and then the rest is just kind of, I don't want to call it freebies, but now I said it anyway, and that's why we just transition into this first match. or rather the second last match. No, the last match.
It's the last
match
it's okay,
of
so
the
it's
day. There we
You're
go. We're good. We're good. And it's going to get even better because Overwatch on the horizon. So please, friends, take it away.
Thank you very much. Have a good little break. Should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
It's been a long day.
Regardless, I think Team Liquid, the expectations for this team coming in is just a flat-out win here. A little 3-0, one and done, and then, go have some dinner. I think for Extinction side of things, and something that we touched on last week in their game versus Dildux, they did end up winning 3-0. Felt really good, and a team that is very much taking this stage seriously. I mean, I saw an interview with the Tory saying, we are going to practice as hard as we possibly can. We're reviewing as hard as we can. Like, we will take maps. We will take series off of good teams. We want to. They fully believe that they can do it. And if you've got that much passion and drive behind you, a lot of things are possible. Extinction come into this series, though, Ilios being the map. We are seeing a Reaper ban from TL and then a Wuyang ban for Extinction.
Okay. Well, I mean, Vega popped off on the Wuyang last weekend as well, and is one of those other Wuyang players that has decided to go for that Falling Rain perk. We just saw how much damage it can do in the good hands of somebody like Ultraviolet, so I think very wise for Extinction to ban that out right away and see what type of impact it can have on this match. Similarly for Reaper, this was a pick that Vision was playing a lot of last weekend, and so you have to imagine with Extinction being able to win versus Dildux with that Reaper from Vision, that's also a hero that would give a Ball or a Winston from Infected a ton of trouble. Go ahead and ban that out right away, and then you don't have to deal with it as a counter to your dive.
Just got an update from the chat as well. The predictions looking a little lopsided. 98% for Team Liquid, 2% for Extinction. Honestly, the person who voted with 12k channel points, dude, if you win, that's a 1 in 56. Like, that is a hefty return. So, you know what? Value predictors, I'm here for it. But we'll see if TL can
Esports
can prove them wrong. Hey, you never know.
Earlier today, but
you never know.
I am with you. I'm here for the upsets. I'm here for the good games.
I do want to say one thing too. Tree switched over from the Pharah. I'm really liking the Pharah, especially on some of these high ground maps recently. We've seen it middling success, but I think Tree is definitely a player that can make the most of it. King on the other flip side of things though, it's actually coming out with Echo instead. It's a decent target to copy the Genji, copy the Tracer. It's very easy to get a free Pulse Bomb, a free Dragon Blaze, and being able to get out of the way of these heavy engaged like dives. Oh my goodness, Tree dominated Vision. That was disgusting. Okay, well, that's
Vision
the point.
Didn't even see him there. No way. Like, a Vision was hardcore focusing on something else, and then all of a sudden he goes and hits him with a shuriken. Jeez. Easy team cap here for Team Liquid once you remove that DPS, but yeah, I like the theory behind the Echo as well. Kind of wondering maybe if Team Liquid might want to think about the Pharah a little bit later, but listening to an interview with them, they were saying the Pharah would be very good against something like the Reaper, and since that's been banned out, that is no longer a factor that they have to deal with. It opens them up to be able to play this double flex that we expect Team Liquid to be very good with.
Infected equipped like the AA guns there for King, who was just out in the middle of nowhere, just getting gunned down. That was a bit unfortunate. A couple of reset dashes for Tree, though, in that small corridor. Easy clap for him, and double support kill. That's a quick reset for Extinction. And King
has decided to go over
Genji.
to the Genji as well.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. I think the Echo was going to have a hard time finding purchase, especially when you just have such mobile heroes. You were still getting chunked out even by the Tracer. And so now at least the Genji can come in and play a bit more with the unit as Satori wants to play with a Wrecking Ball. Student Rush, though, here for Scuffed on the point.
Yeah, free cap as well, Team Liquid. Don't want any of that noise. They just want to be able to get out, re-engage as soon as that rush disappears. Blade ends up getting popped though. Vision's going to be the target, but Tree ends up getting bowled away by the Wrecking Ball. A quick teleport in. Anasuzu from RuPaul saves Tree's life. It was like sub 50 HP there as Tree kills the Tory. Nice reset dash onto Scuffed as manages to cap the point for Team Liquid. Tree with a heavy lifting in that last fight.
I really like the way that they played that. Let the rush cap the point there for Extinction, and then they come back in with a better position with the Blade, and they actually just full pump that damage into the Wrecking Ball. Made that Wrecking Ball such a non-factor. RuPaul just hits the kunai into the spawn? I think, like,
Eesh.
what?
Yeah. There's so much Small like chunk damage as well coming from the ball. Bit tough for Vision there. Mines on the high ground, sound barrier, and King is isolated, and RuPaul finds yet another kill, and Extinction, they got a touch. So Hattori and Alba will make their way to the point. Looks like Vision is going to join them. Zera is booped up into the sky by the Wrecking Ball, but here comes the rush. Alba now down, focused by RuPaul, who's found yet another kill, as Team Liquid just running this one home. Not even close, sadly, there for Extinction. They got to the point to trigger OT, but only got 16%. As, by the way, just as a quick tally, a quick update, no deaths for Team Liquid there in that round.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely deathless. Oh, it's really too bad. Alba was so close to being able to use that sound barrier, but just wasn't able to use it in time. So many members already down from Extinction as well. I think it would have been very difficult for that to have been the difference maker in that last fight. But yeah, no deaths for Team Liquid. If they come out on Reinhardt, absolute cinema. Please.
No.
Infected, please.
It's ruined.
Please.
The Rhine's just going to sit on point, hold shield, and die. There's no way.
Oh, come on.
I mean, as much as I'm sure Infected would love to play the Rhine, we'll save that for a King's Row.
Oh,
like the Sombra
okay.
pick, though, from Vision. Good adaptation. Hack the Mega Pack away. Infected's got one less thing to kind of roll around and grab, and it also helps the supports.
Yes, I was thinking the exact thing. That's why I was starting to get excited, is the fact that Sombra can be that big difference maker versus the Wrecking Ball, but... Oh, Vega.
Yeah.
Vega moment. Vega Lucio moment.
Yeah. Vega and RuPaul quickly dealing with that small dive. But yeah, I mean, I like the Sombra right now. Oh, Tori got dominated there by RuPaul and the rest of the gang. But
I
yeah,
like the
being able to
theory
hack
at
away the
the
health
very
packs is really nice. It stops Infected from playing a little bit more freely around the map than just being a self-sustaining tank, having to rely on RuPaul a little bit more. But actually setting up a hack dive, a hack onto somebody is still going to be tough. The hacks don't last that long anymore, and even getting onto a Genji, it's not normally enough time unless you get a big slam down as well.
Especially when you're not going to be invisible either. Like, I think it's a lot easier for the opposing team to try to figure out where you're going to try to attack from. And you also have so much ways to just spray damage to try to unstealth that Sombra.
Yeah, it's...
Well, again, Vision goes
also
down.
Tough. If that, like you said, if that Sombra gets revealed in any way, you're going to die, like, really quick. That Translocator goes a decent distance, but not enough for you to escape a Tracer Wrecking Ball. Lucio, there's just no shot. Nice little stick in the corridor. Oh, that was almost a kill onto Zera there with her own pulse bomb, but it's all good. Guy's a monster on the Tracer. There goes the supports and the Tracer kill as well. Triple for Zera, team kill for Team Liquid pretty much, and a continuation of the control for Liquid.
You get the rush coming up soon. In fact, it's playing so far forward, knowing that he also has the mines available. That's just going to cut off a lot of the routes of entry for Extinction as they try to make their way back in. They also know very wisely that they're going to have to back up a little. They also don't want to fall to something like that pulse bomb. They have to know that Hattori is also quite close to mines herself. So just want to make sure that you're playing as safe as possible.
I was already dead. Been shoved in the locker there by Zera, sadly. Mines on the point, 10% to go. Mines were infected too, so it's a mine warfare down there. No one step on the point from either team. Although the slam is going to at least clear a couple of them. Sound barrier, and now Tree's going to step up with the blade. Vision might not even get an EMP in this map. I'm going to be honest with you, 95%. Pulse bomb from King lands absolutely nobody. And unfortunately, that is going to be all she wrote there. A little slash and a dash there onto Lucio, and Alba dies with the B. Oh, dearie me. Team Liquid managed to get the AJ at the very end as the curtains closed. A 2-0 on Ilios. Very fast map indeed. Only a single kill.
And only one death.
Onto Tree.
Only one death. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tree only died once out of the entire Team Liquid roster.
And that was the rollout too. That was him dying to the Sombra initially, right?
Honestly,
that small little
crazy.
dive.
Yeah. Now, I mean, great stuff there from Team Liquid. I think this is something that you have to expect the rest of the series is going to look like. I was really having some hope there that we might be able to see some close maps, but after such a performance like this, I think it's going to be quite a difficult ask. But what else should you expect from Team Liquid? I think is when they are being considered as one of the best teams, if not the best team in the region, they have to play as such, especially against these teams that are in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I think Saurus and Danny in the back rooms are going to be happy with this so far. Though they are hoping to be the very best. I mean, you look at even Toronto Defiant from last year, you know, like kind of crafted from the ground up to be the most dominant team in North America, with, again, kind of Kasaurus and whatnot being behind the scenes. I think they're expecting the same level of success here. They had Knife obviously leave the roster and he ends up going back to Korea to play for Onside Gaming, but with Zera joining, like, that's cool. That fills that void like so well. I think this team right now with the core 5 players with no substitutions, it looks good. It looks really clean. And it does make me excited, actually, for that GK match in week number 5. But getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, of course, with Extinction still needing to claw their way back in this series.
Thinking about where we might want to go next, I know Hattori has a mean hazard. I wonder maybe if we decide to go somewhere where, do we want to go to Esperanza? Maybe you play the Hazard and you try to ban out the Wrecking Ball. Do you like your matchup into something like having to play into the Winston from Infected instead? We could also see King's Row, where you could either bring out the Hazard or you could bring out the Junker Queen. I think both of those would be very good picks here for Hattori. Actually, Hattori can just kind of play anything. So, yeah, pick your poison.
As you'd expect, the stats being a little bit one-sided there. Those 3 elims equal the single kill that Extinction ended up getting, and a 0.12 KD too. Yeah, so like I said, it's kind of what you're expecting coming out of that map as we laid out the stats for you throughout it. We'll see if TL can just continue that. But yeah, I think you're right, Rose. I think being able to go to something a little bit more confined might be better for Extinction, and Atlas is actually what they're going to pick.
Perfect. I mean, perfect, right? I think Atlas has a couple of flashpoints that are a little bit more enclosed. And so you take a look at a map like that, it's really good for double flex. If you want to play that, it's going to be amazing for the Reaper now that that has also been unbanned. So it allows you to play a little bit more grouped up, close together, which is something that I think we're really expecting out of like a Hazard, Reaper, Genji. Or, you know, this is what they ended up playing versus Dilducks when Dilducks were slamming them with the Doomfist. So, yeah, I think Hazard, Reaper, Genji works out here.
Don't forget as well, the DHL moments from this stage. You can check them out. ESL.gg/DHL-OWCS, and you can give a little homeboy a little wave down there. As we do head into the finals in Stockholm, you can be in with your chance to actually win a ticket there and a trip to the finals, which was a whole lot of fun last year. So make sure you go check that out and predict the EMEA and North American winners. And if you think it's going to be Team Liquid or GK, hey, both of them might be an easy prediction from yourself. So yeah, make sure you go check that out. And yeah, thanks, little guy. Hopefully we'll get Johnny to dress up. Is our little robot friend down there.
I think that the sick costume would be too small for him.
Too small? No, surely
Johnny's
surely the robot
really
is
tall.
as big as Johnny. No.
Well,
surely
I think
the
most
bot
of
is
the
even
time.
taller than Johnny is.
Don't want to get too much into the movie magic behind some of the character costumes, but usually they're built for small people. So
no, I mean, come on, we'll figure it out. Johnny will be cosplaying as our DHL friend and mascot down there at Stockholm. I can guarantee it. I can't, but it would be fun if we did see that. Wrecking Ball banned from Extinction and a Lucio banned from TL. Okay, what do you think of this?
well, Alba is a main support player, so taking a look at the Lucio ban means that we will not see Extinction have access to that same type of speed. It's going to force Alba to have to put the Wuyong, which it's looked pretty good on. So maybe we do see a bit more of like the Kiriko Wuyong as that backline variant for Extinction, and then Wrecking Ball. Can't let Infected play Wrecking Ball. I think it at least allows you to make sure that if you are going to play something like the Hazard, you don't have to deal with the Wrecking Ball going after your backline. Maybe you have to deal with Monkey instead, but that's also something that you can plan around with that Reaper.
Yeah, a little bit better with the Reaper and the Hazard on your team. Like, okay, the Winston does jump in to a little bit harder to get out versus a Wrecking Ball, you can just kind of spin and roll away. And to be fair, Team Liquid actually banning the Lucio there is actually going to kind of almost halt that strategy and put that in its place, because the Reaper really does need that extra speed. So actually taking that Lucio away is going to put a little bit of a thorn in the side if they do want to pivot towards the Reaper style. We'll have to see. Atlas being a fairly open map, especially when you're transitioning from points, but like on the points themselves, the Reaper does get a lot of work done. In fact, we've seen a lot of work from the Doom recently in EMEA, which would be a sight to see. I would love to see it, but I'm not sure how likely that is going to be.
Like that Extinction were on the receiving end of that. Baz from Dildux played the Doomfist versus them, and it forced what's really weird counter swap to have to happen mid-map. I mean, Extinction were down 2 flashpoints. If Dildux were going to win a map, it could have very well have been that one, but there was that reverse sweep on Atlas after we saw Extinction finally figure out a way to deal with this Doomfist, and that swap was to the Hazard, Reaper, Genji, Kiriko, and Lucio. Lucio is now unfortunately off the board, but I think you could still run off 4 of those pieces. And do you actually think do we see Juno here? We haven't seen a whole lot of her as of late, and she is quite squishy, but she still has the ability to give your team healing and speed.
Yeah.
Speed mostly is the big thing I'm looking at.
I mean, realistically, I think Juno's a little bit too fragile in a lot of these comps. There's very few ways to actually save herself from any kind of dive apart from using kind of the speed ring or the shift, right? So the likelihood we see Juno is pretty slim. You do, especially with how fast these comps are, you need a teleport. You need, amp speed. You need, unlike wall riding, right? You need something to get away. Wu Yang does a decent amount of damage and is able to kind of kite with the Guardian Wave and with the Tidal Surge to the point where he's fine. But compared to a Juno, yeah, it's tough, especially with the lack of kind of instant self-heal too. Looks like Infected. No surprise, it's going to play Winston. Like the RuPaul Ana pick though, like we said before, or like you said before, Rose, the Hazard in the Reaper is probably on the docket for Extinction, which is correct, but RuPaul has got the read here and is going to play the Ana, which is going to be another big tool that Extinction had to deal with. Hitori cannot get hit by sleep, otherwise you're done for.
Or the anti-nades as well, I think, can play such a huge factor, especially when Infected, Tree, Zera, they've all been playing together with these immaculate dives. Imagine, like, you get an anti-nade onto somebody, or even look at Infected being able to get that burst healing. The Reaper cannot touch him.
Infected, that's back-to-back. Oh, look at the Wu Yang. What's up, Alba? Almost a solo kill Infected there, but unfortunately, it is King that bites off a little bit more than he can chew. But this is the comp that we were talking about. It's like the double shotgun, right, with Hitori and Vision. Infected's going to have a tough go with this. I'm curious if he even stays. No, it looks like straight over to Hazard and Kiriko. Yeah, don't want to mess with Hitori on Hazard or this Vision Reaper.
You look how far back Infected got pushed even on the Winston. You just your jumps to get away, your bubbles defensively. It doesn't feel good as a Winston player to have to use any of those cooldowns to just get out of dodge. So now that you've got the Hazard, I think you can play a little bit more around this, like a bit more toe-to-toe with the Tori. Maybe you can actually have a bit more staying power versus the backline as well. And those jagged walls are going to be a news chance for either of these tracers to deal with.
Very early Tidal Surge there. Albert actually uses it on himself, not the tank in the front line, and Hitori and Vision end up going down. An odd angle, actually, for Albert to actually be on the point, looking upward to try and heal the tanks. The tank and the DPS, even.
That was really odd, but Alba was under quite a bit of threat there. I think it was the Tracer and Genji coming after him, and then after the Tidal Blast got used, they were able to swiftly get away. And now Vega's got one of his own, so you could apply that over to either Zera or Tree, honestly. Even Infected, all 3 of them are very good candidates for this Tidal Blast, depending on the positioning that you see in the map.
Tough 1v1 to win on the extremity here for King. You have a Tracer facing up against you with the healing from the Wu Yang too. So actually winning that 1v1 is just so tough. Heads up play there from Vega using that surge there to dash out of the way of that pulse bomb. Here comes Zera though, straight onto the back line, and that is how the best team's using this right now. Tidal Blast on the Tracer, chase the enemy Wu Yang, force him to use the ult on himself, or just insta-kill him with a pulse bomb, or just a couple of bullets to the brain. Team Liquid at 85% now. Hitori does end up winning that fight versus Infected with Albert King, and the flip does end up coming in.
Yeah, they got really close to killing Hattori, but then all of that healing came through, and once again, Hattori untouchable on this hazard. And now Extinction are set up with control of the point, but they also have the rush with the Reaper. I mean, the Death Blossom could actually move quite fast through this.
Rush from Scuffed on the high ground. Very easy escape here for Team Liquid. Downpour ends up connecting, but a reverse 1-2 as Satori's now locked in place, staying with Vision. He's got the Death Blossom. Doesn't need to find any targets, though, as King and Alba have already done the business. Overtime ticking down as Extinction end up coming up big. That's a cap on the first point. Team Liquid fought off guard, a little bit unawares there with what Extinction were bringing to the table, especially losing that first checkpoint, or the first cap even, because you're running Winston. Ended up snowballing in Extinction's way.
Extinction also just got the better of the ultimate economy at the end of that flashpoint, and even if you don't use the Death Blossom on something like the Rush, it was really great to zone if you needed it, just to cover the flashpoint so nobody could touch. And so it'll be Extinction up first to the next flashpoint, still with that Death Blossom, and Topa Vision does not get enough healing. Oh, he just evaporated.
Died to RuPaul. Okay. Well, there's the blade from Tree. And as soon as you hear that Tidal Blast go off, you know that Wu Yang is extremely vulnerable. Alba manages to escape, though. A sliver of HP remains on the Wu Yang. Oh, the stick! Whoa, King came out of nowhere! Double kill onto the DPS. Tree didn't know what hit him. Extinction, they're going to be able to recap now as Team Liquid dominated. The King and Crown definitely on his head. RuPaul at least kills Satori, so it'll be a quick re-engage from Team Liquid as Satori overstays.
Yeah, that was such a big pulse bomb there. Actually lands it onto Tree, but now you've got a return one coming in from Zera, and the fact that you don't have a Tori, you're not getting a lot out of that flashpoint outside of that 20%. Still, any progress is good progress, and especially after you won that first flashpoint, you definitely want to try to work towards winning out this map and actually tying up the series. So, as we head into this next fight, still have the Death Blossom, still haven't really seen a good time to use it, and it still might not be super impactful the rest of this fight. We also are looking towards that downpour.
All right, well, Scuff got one clip. You have to reset here, I think. Tidal Blast for Vega too. Team Liquid, they're just going to do the same again. Mentioned before, the best teams right now are using this Tidal Blast on the Tracer. Well, that's a sad death. A Tidal Blast on the Tracer. Tracer heads towards the enemy Wu Yang and instantly gets the kill. A nice initial kill, though, from King onto Zera is going to stop that combo from coming through, but they do need to touch.
Well, I mean, the Tidal Blast does actually get applied over to Tree this time. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, guess who can also jump to the back line? Genji. Yeah, Tidal Blast actually kills Alba just with the damage. Tree just needed to deliver that package to him. Good cap, though, by Team Liquid, and they only used one ult to get that one in that last fight, Rose.
It's just amazing, because now they just have the rest of what they were holding on to with the downpour, the rush, and all of this is going to be good to match that of Extinction. They should have still not used the Death Blossom. That's unlucky. But the downpour first from Infected. Who did that hit?
Yeah, downpour, not sure, but it did force positioning, that is for certain. Zera kills Alba. Pulse bomb in the hands of Zera, but he's 10 HP, gets chased down by King. The DPS from Extinction at least getting on the board, but here comes the rush on the points. There is going to be a return rush there by Scuffed, and it is a 3v5 right now, but they've managed to force Extinction to use that ult. A quick disengage there from Team Liquid. They do end up sacrificing RuPaul and the point, at least this first cap. But Team Liquid come back in knowing that Scuff doesn't have that rush any longer.
No rush. You've got the Tidal Blast, which can be used defensively here, or you can try to do the same thing that Team Liquid have been doing, which is apply that over to King, try to get this pulse bomb landed onto either RuPaul or Vega, but they also know how they're using these pulses, and Zera is actually the first to go ahead and pull the trigger. All but King is the Tidal Blast now.
No Tidal Blast available for King. Vision's still trying to hunt people, but Scuff just gets picked. That's 2 picks back to back. This is Extinction. Not even forcing any ult out Team Liquid as Tree lands. Nice little dash right click.
58% is still a good amount to walk away with if you're Extinction, but it definitely feels bad when you had that Tidal Blast and Pulse Bomb setup from Alba and King, and you were just not able to execute on it. As there was going to be 68% away from another Pulse Bomb, too. As we keep on this next fight, it's really all eyes on Tree here. If you can actually weave this blade, maybe even the Tidal Blast too.
Oh, Alba's in trouble. Had to use both CDs. There's the Tidal Blast straight to the back. Scuff's already dead. A quick reset dash onto the point. Nice little Wraith Walk there from Vision. Does get out of range of the Tidal Blast, but I think the fight's already done, unfortunately. Teleport away. Perk's going to help that speed up, but nah, this is Team Liquid all day here.
One more team fight for them as well, and that's going to be the second flashpoint secured. And still have not had to use very much of anything in order to win these fights. So they still have Blade, and they can also try to combo that with something like the Downpour or the Rush. Either way, they can play really aggressively with these ultimates in their pocket. And Extinction have taken so much damage on the income. They've used Suzu already.
Forced to Suzu. Yeah. Rush available for RuPaul, and now they can just find the point. Downpour connects with one backliner. Oh, maybe not. It looks like Alba escaped briefly, but a Tree with the blade. Everybody separated there by the Downpour. A perfect setup for Infected to guarantee Tree kills. 2 points now on the board for Team Liquid, as Extinction still reeling.
A great effort so far, but it just hasn't amounted to enough after that first flashpoint was captured by Extinction. Hopefully they're able to get some good use out of the positioning of the current map and where their spawns are to get to the next flashpoint first, and then they also have the rush that they can use to engage into this next fight. But it is so tough when Zera has been landing Pulse Bomb after Pulse Bomb. Oh, but that's good. That's a very
good little
good
pick
start.
Initially. But again, they force Alba to use all cooldowns. Zera almost lands the one clip on Vision. Wraithwalk used. Infected dead. 2 members from Team Liquid now back in spawn. Again, leads Extinction to land this first cap. Nice little kill onto RuPaul, but it's actually finishing these points, Rose. That's been their big problem. Good hunting there.
I think this is such a better position for them. You've got 3 ultimates still. You're going to have 2 more if Vittoria and Alba can catch up, and it's just 25% away. As long as you don't get chunked down or get randomly taken out by a 0-1 clip or, you know, Vega triple orb, I think you're going to be okay. And if you can also get the setup for these ultimates correct. But Team Liquid have been moving in at such a lightning pace, and the fact that Alba is down again, they're just getting pick after pick for Team Liquid here.
I fear for this fight and Extinction, and plus the emergency rush button on the point. Scuff was trying to hightail it out of there, was trying to get to the top of this point to get out of the arm's reach of Infected, but unfortunately that Mantis blade is rather long. Extinction at least going to get 80+%. But again, it's about actually finishing these fights.
Yeah.
It feels like it doesn't matter how much percent they have on these points. It's Team Liquid that always come away with the cap. And there's only one more before this fight, before this map ends, and we go to map 3.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. Like, Alba dying there meant that you just didn't have your full team available to actually try to execute on those ultimates. And now Team Liquid is in this position where the shoe's on the other foot. They're going to be the ones that have all these different ults at their disposal, and Vega's still going first.
Tidal Blast from both of the Wu Yangs. A solo Death Blossom. You love to see it for a Vision, okay. And again, used defensively there from Team Liquid. That's the first one this map at the very least. It's not what you want to see. And now they're hightailing out of there. Swift step away. They've still got ultimates to Team Liquid, but we'll see if they actually want to use them. Dump them in onto this fight, especially with the kill onto Infected. It doesn't seem likely. Happy to go 2-2 on Atlas as we transition now to that 5th and final point.
Great stuff from Extinction there to be able to just flip that tide back in their favor, and very smart of Team Liquid to just say, hey, we have to give up this flashpoint. We have too many members down. There might not be enough of a swing with these ults, but a great way to start out this next one is with that Pulse Bomb from Zera.
Yeah, Alba has just been bullied this map, sadly.
Nice. There's got to be someone, right?
Yeah, not really. I mean, if you don't just run away from Zera, forehead. I mean, realistically, Zera has just been stuck to him like glue. It has been. You are just ideally as the Tracer or the Genji, to be fair. You're forcing the Wu Yang to use the shift, to use the wave, you know, to just get him into a position where he has no cooldowns and then run him down. Yeah, the Wu Yang's going to be so susceptible as soon as there's no Kiriko also kind of looking at you as well, and Alba.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just been prime target for Team Liquid. And rightfully so, the character's still ridiculously strong.
And but it's tough when you're non-factor in those fights, because not only do you not have that healing, but you're also not building up to those Tidal Blasts anymore. This is a good start too for Team Liquid, but they've already captured that first flashpoint. Extinction don't really have a choice here except to back away.
Yeah, they have to get out. Just die on point, just die fast. Nice triple kill from Tree. There's 3 ults, and they didn't even need to use anything there to get the pick onto Vision.
Now we're just getting into that territory where if Extinction try to go in for a full fight, like they don't have enough time to regroup and actually come back, and this is final fight.
They should downpour forward here. They should just run at them 100%. Scuff just already used Suzu. Force the Scuff to use the rush not near the point. I mean, that is going to be the name of the game. And if he does use it, just downpour it as they're trying to actually utilize that increased attack speed. It looks like a Tori and Vision have managed to make it to the point to trigger OT, but King is already dead. A rush on the point, and downpour is going to connect as well as Tree has still got the blade. And look at that, Tori's just on her lonesome, on the point, just stuck in place. Zera connects the pulse bomb onto Alba, and that blade, Tree, well, half a hit marker or there some. Team Liquid just wiped the floor of Extinction. It went to all 5 points, but it felt like Team Liquid in control of every single one of them. They find themselves 2-0 up and match point in the series.
Well, just so many first picks as well. Every time we were expecting a team fight to happen, there was a pick from Team Liquid onto Extinction, and then all of a sudden, Extinction are playing on the back foot. That's not really how you want to play with the hazard compositions. You don't want to play reactively. You want to be the ones getting up close and personal in their face. And despite the fact that we are seeing some, pretty good damage numbers and healing numbers here from Extinction, it's just, again, lights out by Team Liquid.
And you can see how much pressure and damage they were doing with Vega's damage and healing, Rose. 9k damage from the Wu Yang with his 6k healing. On the flip side, Albert, complete opposite. 9k healing. I think it was about 4k damage or there or thereabouts.
Hey, you gotta be a little bit easier on the guy. Like, we're getting first picked a lot. It was just Alba in the sight lines of Zera and Tree at all times. And that's just kind of what you should expect out of these compositions. We were already touching on it with the Tracer really trying to get back there to force out the cooldowns of the Wu Yang, so you are not able to actually be a factor in those team fights, or you're just trying to play escape. And that's why, like, this is a perfect exhibit of that. Azera is just going to always chase you down. So the numbers reflect that. Alba, unfortunately, was the first to die in a lot of these fights because of how much pressure Azera and Tree were putting on him.
Yeah, I love that blade kill there as well. Infected used the downpour, forced the supports back, and then Tree's just walking at you with the ult. Like, you can't go anywhere. You've already used all your abilities to get out of the way of the downpour. Perfect duo there coming through from Team Liquid. There are the stats from the last map. We did go to all 5 points. So again, there are positives here for Extinction. It's just you are put under a lot of pressure from the front line, from the DPS when you're someone like Alba. The supports are always going to get focused first. Unfortunately, supports, that's just your job. You know, I'm very familiar with that myself. And at the end of the day, Team Liquid aren't the underdogs here. They are going to be wanting to come at this one 3-0. I think Chrysaorus and Danny in the back rooms is, if it's not a 3-0, then definitely need to kind of look over this game again and just improve as the weeks go on. But still, signs of life for Extinction as we move into map number 3.
I know that Team Liquid were disappointed by the fact that they even lost that first map to Nightmare last weekend. The Ilios is their best map, not really a secret. You've got the opportunity to play Winston or Wrecking Ball from Infected, and then whatever flexible DPS are going to work that are unbanned. So I feel like it was always a little bit of a surprise to see Team Liquid lose that map in the first place. But obviously they've ironed out whatever kinks they needed to in the opening weekend, and now they're back full steam ahead. But I'm hoping that with that first flashpoint Extinction were able to capture, maybe they can sneak a couple more good fights out of Team Liquid. Try to catch them by surprise. Like, the Reaper was definitely not something that Infected wanted to play the Winston into, and so that did net a flashpoint for Extinction right out the gates that way. Maybe they can do that on this following map and keep on going, keep on improving.
Yeah, King also looks stellar on the Tracer. Just the nice little pulse one. We saw, obviously from Tree's POV, when he got stuck, he was like, okay, wow, okay, that came out of nowhere. King still looks really good. Don't forget, in the shop right now is actually the Owl Unvault, which is some of the old Overwatch League skins from back in the day. So the 2020 Pacific All-Stars Diva, the Rhine, Rock Climber Zarya, and the Widowmaker skin, which I will not be pronouncing. So we can do that for me. Thank you, Zoe. Yeah, I think Rock Climber Zarya is the only one that I don't have. So yeah, it's in the store until 23rd of September. I don't know, right? I have no idea.
I'm
What I do
gonna
know,
say
though, is,
yes.
is we go to King's Row. That's Extinction's pick.
Which makes so much sense. We talked about the theory about this in our last map, but just in case you weren't watching the match, King's Row here is going to be one of those map picks Extinction wants to go to play something that's a bit more front to back with the Hazard, even with Orisa if you really wanted to swap over to that. But really, one of the ways that you can try to deny the Wrecking Ball or even the Winston is to go to King's Row. But as we say that, the bans also reflect what Team Liquid are expecting, which is that Hazard to come out from Hattori. So if you can also mitigate that by just banning it out, then it does make the map a little bit more Team Liquid favored, I think.
Yes, we're getting one King's Row today in NA. Yeah, where does that leave Hattori kind of running then? What are we thinking? Orisa? I don't think we're going to see Mauga, going to be real.
I
But
don't
Orisa
think so
kind of angle.
either. I think Orisa is very possible, but I also think if you wanted to try to run the Wrecking Ball yourself, maybe you decide to go in that direction. Honestly, I'm not in Hattori's head. I have no idea what she's thinking. But we have seen teams actually play the Wrecking Ball on King's Row despite it not looking on paper to be the best Wrecking Ball map. So anything is truly... But maybe play Queen, actually.
Yeah, the only issue with the Queen, I'd say, is that you do end up running into someone like an Ana on the high ground, but banning the Kiriko is a good way doing that, you know? Like, hey, we run our own Queen, we don't have to fear using Rampage randomly, and then it getting Suzu'd, or not randomly, but you know what I mean, the anti-heal getting Suzu'd. But this is what I expect from Team Liquid. The Kiriko ban is like, that's fine. Like RuPaul, one of his best heroes is the Ana. I mean, Ana on this map is a classic. It has been for all time. And I think Vega's more than happy to continue with the Wu Yang. And no surprise, and like you called, Rose, infected on the ball. This is, it is going to be up to Extinction now. How do they actually respond to this? Hattori hovering Winston currently, but could quickly go change if they want to.
That is the nice thing about being on the attack first, seeing what the defense is playing. You can make that split-second decision to go back to spawn and then change to something else. But Winston makes sense if you are seeing the Wrecking Ball on the other side. You can just still play the counter dive in that sense. But I love this Hanzo pick from Vision. We've seen this before in their last match. We saw like Hazard, Hanzo, Tracer, with the Kiriko and the Wuyong, but yeah, Vision's Hanzo, the hero feels very strong right now, so I'm hoping this will do them some favors on their attack.
Yeah, you are just looking for that one lob right onto the back line. Makes Ana's life a little bit more annoying to play, even if you're up on high ground.
Exactly.
Oh, Hattori getting kind of owned right now, but at least putting a decent amount of pressure with the right clicks across the point. Vision, though, antied, slammed, and insta-killed by Tree. But that's going to be the big problem. It's actually kind of navigating through this choke and crossing this giant crevasse where RuPaul can just anti you. And in fact, I think this fight's pretty much over from Team Liquid, but let's get a quick Extinction listen to see how their plan is actually going to unfold.
I'm shooting Ana, top. Yeah, close Nano. Oh.
Alright, the boss gonna turn again.
Yeah.
Ready?
I'm gonna get that right, yeah. Oh, I'm low.
Quick jumping.
Wait, me and Nava is back. 1 second.
Trying to shoot ball out.
Get the Nano thing.
Yeah. 3 people on me.
I'm nading on you.
At about to left.
Nano
Spot half,
Nano
spot
on
half.
5. Nano on 5. Can we go first?
Yeah, we can go Nano. Ready?
Yeah.
Look Ana. Best Scout Ana.
Oh.
Cammy. I'm coming.
Goodness. We need to
We good at
scout.
Tori?
Yeah, plus Nano, but I'm not dead out.
Follow me. I'm living.
I'm with you. Full half.
Make sure to scout.
I have to
they
be
use
ready.
me?
He said, yeah, just miss him.
Okay, can we chill? Just relax. Let's play slower. The ball's right now. I can fight him soon.
Yeah.
Place everything.
We're getting low.
Follow me.
Play prime.
Ball tracer on me, they're going fast.
They go early.
I can't see you there.
W.
Nano in the back line for Tree there. He's already found Vision. Nice anti, but Infected is also going to help Tree hopefully secure some kills. It's going to get chased though by Hattori. Had to end up going for the reload, and Tree unable to escape with the dash. Now Mines were infected on the choke, but they managed to kill Sarah. DPS dead for Team Liquid, as Extinction are going to walk into this point with ults. A stick on to Infected, just going to guarantee the kill. I love just kind of throwing that one in there, just making sure Infected is going to be a non-factor for this recontest, at least for the time being. There will be a checkpoint on the board for Extinction, but look at how quickly these spawns are going to come in. In fact, RuPaul is almost going to take the 1v1. They actually end up trading as Sarah and Vision kill each other. Vega ends up attaching the Tidal Blast to himself as he runs through Hotel. Hattori is really low, but has Primal Rage for backup. But Tree with the Blade again. He's already found one. Make it another. And the Primal Rage, yeah, just a bit of a fart in the wind there, unfortunately, for Tori. He's going to manage to kill Tree, but the backup is not arriving quick enough for Extinction to cap.
But I did like being able to hear them talk about, hey, let's play this a little slower. Let's try to chill out a little. And then look at where that got them. Being able to still communicate through the really hard fights when Infected is just constantly knocking up your team and just taking that second to go, oh, okay, like, let's take that. But now it's 30 seconds left and you don't get a chance to just calm down. That was a great chance for you. You at least have the nano from Scuff that you'll be able to apply onto maybe Hattori to try to get back in there. But that's it, like 15 seconds. You've got to get this last third.
It was a really smart play there, actually, from Infected, waiting for the Tracer to have the recall near the bottom to make sure they can actually chase her up. Nano boost onto Vision of all people is in a little bit of a sticky situation, but still a direct body shot with the nano boost. That's definitely going to kill a Tracer and then some. Bit of an overkill arrow, in fact. And that is going to be Extinction capping the point in OT.
I mean, what a great person to apply that to. Just with the empowered arrows, you're able to get the point captured. You've also bought yourself a second life in this King's Row game. Now you enter into Street Space. Maybe you would have liked to have the Nano available for now, but I think having the Dragon Streak is also pretty good.
Come on, man. Mine's in the spawn. I mean, honestly, yeah, take as much space as you humanly want. Head to kills Vision. I really love this proactive play from Team Liquid. Making Extinction work for every meter, quite literally, as the payload has not moved. Moved barely an inch.
Oh, the Nano wants a tree too.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. It's not even fair at this point. Yeah, quick resets here. Good sleep. RuPaul looks so good on this Ana. Always has done, of course. But the Ana and the Wu Yang, two different ways of actually amplifying healing, both with the wave and the nade. Unfortunately, Vega gets a head full of wood there. The arrow connecting with his forehead. Just actually going to mean they have to back up. So that is the lock we were talking about at the very top of this map. What's going up here? The Ana and the Tracer on the high ground. Zera has the pulse bomb too, by the way, and a recall. Has spot the Ana super close. Has to hit the re though after taking a body shot. And now Hattori trying to join the party. There is a Tidal Blast from Alba, defensively used once again on the payload. Same with those dragons, going to clear people off. Zera sticks the shield of all things, unfortunately. So that pulse bomb is a little bit of a whiff. But this is going to be an aggressive push here from Tree. A nice little knockdown onto Vision, quickly cleaned up by Infected. The slam down, knock up. He doesn't know where he's gone. Discombobulated, to put it lightly. Nice little hold here from Team Liquid, and with 40 seconds to go, lifelines are getting exhausted.
Vision switching over to the Reaper now, recognizing that maybe the Reaper will help you get a little bit closer into these street spaces, but with so much time already gone, you gotta hope that this Reaper is going to be that final Hail Mary you need. You do have the Nano again, and you do have the Primal Rage, so ways to extend this fight and hopefully get yourself to that second checkpoint, but you gotta fight into Mines and the Blade from Tree.
Mine's going to completely split the team up as well. Hattori's alone in the backline right now. Of course, has got Primal. Joins the rest of the team while they try and play Minesweeper. He ends up leaping in, but a Nano Boost onto Tree again. He's already found Scuff, looking for a second. Nano Boost actually onto Vision, but it's not enough damage for Tree to actually kill the Reaper. So Vision actually ends up surviving, ends up hopping that shift, but Hattori, without the Primal Rage, is going to be a non-factor in this fight now. Overtime ticking down as Vision now on the point trying to sustain. And now, unfortunately for Alba, there's no Mega Health Pack to run to. Scuff ends up booping Tree away and they end up securing the kill as the Reaper, just with those Hellfire shotguns, just feeling infected full of lead, has got a Death Blossom to work with as well. So a lot of initial damage there, but the Tidal Blast should be more than enough. And in fact, a return one onto Vision, but he actually gets knocked down. So no knockdowns for Extinction as they continue this payload moving. And then Vision is finally found a kill on this high ground as RuPaul was trying to hide out in the brewery.
Oh, gosh, really tries to go after the backline, but is unfortunately not able to pick up that kill onto Vega. And that just might be it here for Team Liquid's defense, as they have Infected coming back on the Wrecking Ball, and they've also been able to get the kill onto Hattori.
Nice little Hail Mary pulse bomb at the very end, but yes, there it is. Zera and Infected holding down the fort. Pretty quick to get back to the payload there, and Infected and Zera. Good hold from Team Liquid as a whole. That last fight, a little scrappy with it. That initial tidal blast actually onto Infected stopped Vision getting into a position where they could tidal blast somebody and then get the kill and then run away with the fight from there. So just quick thinking from Team Liquid, getting up in their face. Infected only dying once. Not too surprising there on the Wrecking Ball. But Extinction, at least they ended up capping that first point again. They did go to 5 in Flashpoint. So we'll see if they can hold this first. It's going to be a tough ask, though, because you know Infected's going to play ball again.
Vision's putting up some big damage numbers. I mean, the most amount of damage in the entire lobby. Hoping that maybe that will help them to get this defense going and to keep it. He is going to be coming back out onto the Hanzo, so similar type of property. If you're able to get even just one pick on the Hanzo on the defense, then it does force that attacking team to have to reset again. But Team Liquid have been just playing so aggressive, so proactively. Every single fight on the defense too, they were always the first ones to pull the trigger. Even going back to those tidal blasts, as you said, but not just that. Also just trying to make sure that Infected can get the jump in, like lay those mines down. So Extinction are going to have to come up with something really big on this defense to play versus this dive. Oh my god! Oh, I thought for a second it was just pedal platform there for the Life Weaver, and then switch back over to the Wuyong. But Infected does come out on the Diva.
Yeah, Life Weaver fans, you're going to have to wait a little bit. Unfortunately. I know Rack Attack's shaking his fist right now. Sorry, man. We're still pretty fun, though. Can't lie, so there you go. You found your new love, I'm sure. All right, Zera also just doing a mean bit of work in the front line there. Scuffed with a nice anti-nade, but it's going to get forced out of this high ground. And Hattori and Vision are going to go down. And a Matrix right on top of Scuff's head, so even if he wanted to try and kill Tree, he wasn't able to. Uh-oh. He's got to make a health back. Yeah, he's not going to take that 1v1. And ends up backing off, and Team Liquid, this should be a cap considering how far forward their players are.
Yeah, I think so, especially after you just forced out the recall from King. The recontest here is going to be quite messy.
Yeah, they're actually going to try and touch here. Infected does end up getting antied, though, but Hattori is still so low. Infected is still going to be able to control this high ground pretty well as Hattori ends up going down. A cap for Team Liquid in their sights. As they set up for this next fight, let's get a quick listen him.
Objective. Escort.
Right has.
Not point out. You're bro.
They're on Zarya.
I can't jump. Big force bubble isn't gonna get you.
Yeah, great TP top. They're gonna shift. I'm starting top left.
I can cart now.
I can flank behind.
I'm point. I have the speed.
Can you call me in? I don't see.
Push cart first. We're gonna go soon.
Yeah, still chill.
Okay, take right there.
Trey low.
Door. Make a bubble.
Start walking. I can go back line. On attack.
I can go.
Yeah, looking. Look, Anna.
I go.
Trey one.
Alright, save. Reaper 1. 3, 2.
Nice pull set us.
Kill Wing. Yeah, go solo blade, man. Oh, and he shit on you. You're wave back.
Nah,
What if I get a remake kill? What if I get a remake kill?
Oh my god! Yeah, go for it.
Doom. I'm gonna touch.
Watch this shit.
All right, we're going to just play that out. Hattori's got the nano on the Doom Fist. Actually ends up killing RuPaul. And yeah, there's 4 minutes in the time bank, but yeah, this is a Liquid game through and through. But someone's got to touch the point. You can end the game right now if you really want. Team Liquid end up taking the series. A little 3-0 there. Kings Row, they bowled over Extinction. Yeah, that last fight, I mean, you ended up just blowing Blade Tidal Blast on the Genji to just guarantee the kills, and then Staggered pushes in. Infected looking clean as well, as always, 29-1 on the D.Va on King's Row. Nice look from Extinction, I must say, on the Flashpoint on Atlas Rose, but Team Liquid, you expect this to be a 3-0, and a 3-0 was delivered.
And that was even after we saw some of those extra swaps. Satori trying to go over to the Zarya to counter what Team Liquid were running. But Zoe, at the end of the day, the result everyone expected. 3-0 here for Team Liquid. And yeah, they finally won Ilios.
Yeah, man, it's rough when the series starts off with your opponents just having one singular death, right? Tree died one singular time on control. What a feeder. First and foremost, but also yeah, I mean, that's a tough start. So in light of that, I think Extinction showed a lot of tenacity. They had a lot of bright moments still in this series, which, if you're an Extinction fan, like, this was not your match to win. Looking ahead at some more evenly matched matchups for them coming up in the next 4 weeks to come, I think you should still feel good, or at least okay.
Yeah, I definitely think there are things to take away from this. It wasn't like a flattening where you're like, okay, we didn't cap a single point. We didn't end up getting any meters on push. We didn't end up, we didn't end up getting the checkpoint on a hybrid or whatever, right? So, like, there's still lots of things you can kind of look back to. That 5 points on Atlas was pretty damn close. I think Alba got picked on a lot, obviously, by the Tracer, like, everybody kind of diving on him. You want to kill the Wu Yang super early on. So there's things to look for Extinction. I'm sure they're going to be hitting the books, hitting the VODs later on today and maybe next week, and yeah, see where they can kind of improve from here. There is still potential in this team despite this result today.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, actually, just looking at it, Necro, they're going to face off against Sakura next week. How do you feel like they're going to stack up against them?
I think that's going to be a great match. I think both King and Vision did have some great moments in this series. King being able to land those pulse bombs in the later part of this series, and Vision, of course, being able to pull out the Reaper that was able to work well when Tori was on Hazard. I think with those bright moments, I'm hoping that that's going to be a good match. But PDK and Zomba today, despite that loss versus GK Esports, also had some really good moments. I think this is going to be the make or break for that middle of the pack, who's going to be coming out as maybe the 4th, 5th, or 6th place team, for sure.
Yeah, Liquid, what you got more for us? I love the Infected on the Wrecking Ball. I really like his D.Va. I think Infected has got a hero pool that is almost like, it's like titanium strong. Like, is it impenetrable? I don't think so, but everything right now that is being played, he's really, really good at. Like, he's definitely one of those new age tank players where it's like, okay, he's not like a hard main tank player, he's not like a hard off tank player. Bro's kind of got it all. Like, even that D.Va on that last round, really nice matrix. Like, a lot of the time you're like, okay, I got to do the damage to get the kills, but it's like, actually, I don't need to do that. I can just matrix the Ana for eternity so she can't do anything, and then my Tracer can get the kill. I think Infected's got a really nice mind for the game, and I think spearheading Team Liquid is good for him, and I think learning as well from people like Kosaurus and Danny has been a big boon to his playing career.
I just love him as a character as well, right? Because he's just
great,
such a lighthearted character, but he's able to play seriously. And as you said, him being surrounded now by Kosaurus and co, I think that's going to do a lot for him as a player and for the team as a whole. Now, speaking of team, we should have a winner's interview ready for you. I believe Tree will be joining us, and it is indeed Tree. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the dub. I actually want to just straight up ignore this match and move on to your next opponent, because in week 3 you will be facing off against SSG. I think that's more of a test of strength for you and the team. What are your thoughts on SSG and what you've seen from them in week 1 as they play 2 matches there?
Yeah, SSG is pretty different right now because they don't really have a main tank player. Like, a lot of teams are playing ball right now, and if you're not playing ball, you're like, it's a lot harder to win. But they still have their own style, and I actually think they're pretty good. They play like the Zarya and the D.Va and stuff. But I think if we play our game correctly, I'm not too worried about them. I think at the end of the day, like, this meta is really good for us. So if we just played our game, like, we should be no problem. I
do want to ask about international competition because people want NA to do well, obviously, right? But What do you think about Korea right now? Crazy Raccoon, Team Falcons. Like, how do you think yourselves, even GK, like, how do you think you guys match up to the best and previous champions?
I mean, I think all throughout this year, the gap between regions has been like getting smaller and smaller. I feel like you've seen that like in China with Nightmare, and then EWC, like GK took Falcons to F5, and then Falcons ended up winning the whole thing. And then even like EMEA is in the grand finals. So I think like every new LAN, it's another chance for like other regions to punch up. And I think last EWC, we had a EMEA team in the grand finals. So I think this time, hopefully it'll be an NA team.
I want to talk to you a little bit more about the overall level up of Team Liquid as well. Heading into this stage, you are definitely one of the teams to look out for, to take the whole thing and maybe even get that upset onto GK after they've won that stage 1 and 2. So I'm wondering if you could give us your perspective on where you feel like Team Liquid has leveled up the most heading into stage number 3.
I think honestly the biggest thing I'd say is like our macro and just like our communication. I think that's the biggest thing from stage 1 to now that's improved a lot, is our comms are so on point and everyone's like gotten really good at listening, because calming stuff in Overwatch, it's pretty easy, but listening is hard, and that's where a lot of people mess up.
That's a life lesson right there, not just an Overwatch lesson. Well, Tree, it looks like you and the team are on the same page. We're very excited to see more of you in the squad, especially in your match against SSG. So best of luck there. And for now, we're going to say bye and thank you once again for joining.
Thank you.